Good evening. On my own tonight, so I've got steak, chips and mushrooms, and this is about the only time that I really use my oven. What I've done is I've put them on a tray and I've stuck them in there just to keep them warm. So really I don't think it's worth having an oven. I think I could have just managed without it. So if you're wondering whether you should fit an oven, I'd probably say no. How many times have I used it in the time I've been in the van? Probably about, I'd say about 10 times in 5 years, which is not a lot really, is it? And I think a lot of that was because of Christmas times, because I do roast dinners at Christmas. And in case you're wondering where I am, I'm on Morecambe seafront. You can see Aldi over there. I was going to call it Lidl. I've got myself a bottle of wine, and as you can see I've bolted the seat the wrong way round, just to confirm that I'm not going to be driving the van anywhere. So I've padlocked the seat back to front. She's left me to fend for myself. Odd mushrooms these. Don't even look like a mushroom, look. I think I've been done. Right, we'll get these cooked. I'll see you in a bit. And there you have it. Steak, mushroom and salt and pepper chips with a bottle of Merlot red wine. That's my dinner for tonight. Right, so we are down on the seafront at Morecambe. Just give you a 380 spin of the area. There's six vans including mine parked up on the promenade today, so I don't think it's too busy. But in all honesty, I'm starting to get pissed off with all these no overnight signs going up everywhere, and I'm starting to get the feeling that I just want to ignore them, because I just think people are taking the piss. Because if you look behind me, there's the vans. There's nothing there. There's no houses. It's not bothering anyone. So I think for the councils to bring in no overnight and to moan, what are they moaning for? Look how busy it is. So I don't see the point in why people are moaning. And that's started to sort of really grate on me. And I'm starting to get the attitude of fuck you, basically. I don't know if that's the right attitude to have. If it's a bad attitude, you tell me what you think and what your views are. Do I just sort of, well, at least in the winter, I think my attitude is going to be, I'll park here. And I think I'm now starting to do it deliberately, because people don't like it, and maybe that's the wrong reason to do it. But as I say, there's no reason to complain and moan, because there's nothing here. Like there's the sea at the moment. You can see there's 2 people for miles around. Yeah, so last night I woke up around about 2 o'clock. I had to put the diesel heater on again, and it was about 14 degrees in the van, but it was feeling a bit cold. It's not just me, is it? I mean, the dog's in the van as well. So for that reason, I don't let the temperature drop too low. This guy's here quite a lot. Don't know who you are, but don't know if you watch the channel, but if you do, hello to you. Seen you around a bit. Come on, Dill. So back in the van, got myself a lovely hot cup of tea, and I've started to warm up again. So I thought I'd have a chat with you guys about yeah, this is from Kev, I guess. Kev said my last video was a really good reality check on van life, about people that think it's all going to be rosy and easy. I certainly wouldn't say van life was easy, and as I've said before, it doesn't take away your problems. It does take away the cost of some of the bills that you would normally pay, which allows you to live a life like this, like I'm living out on the road. But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the money available to you to go off all around the world, traveling all around the world. You see a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers that say we live in our van full time, we're full-time van lifers, and every other week they're running off out to Spain and traveling around Europe in the sunshine. And the reason a lot of them do that is that they're telling you that they live full-time they're telling you that they live in their van and that's their way of life, when reality is that a lot of them have houses back home that they're renting out. I mean, thing to think about, that you're not going to be traveling all around Europe unless you've got some sort of funds coming in, which means a rented property or a business. And that's what a lot of people on YouTube who you see having great lives, living the van life, are not telling you. That they're not telling you that they have a business, they have a rental house, they have other means of income that comes to them every month and funds their travel. So this is a sort of a reality check on van life, if you like, and it's basically the hard truth of van life. As I've said before, I don't have an house to rent out. I'm not getting an income, a wealthy income every month. I'm living off a small amount of money. Yet on my first year or two in van life, I travelled around the UK, and I travelled out to Europe. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but if you go right down to the bottom of the list where the channel started, the channel started as Mark T590. So if you get one of those videos pop up, you're not on the wrong channel. The channel changed names at some point. So yeah, I went out to Europe, but that didn't come cheap. In total, I think I spent about somewhere between £1,600 and £2,000 for a 2-month trip out to Europe. Now, I was working at the time. I was working at a school in London, so I had money going into my bank each month. Even though I was on holiday, I was using up my holiday time from work, so I had an income coming into my bank. I had everything was insured, so the van was insured for breakdown and recovery and repatriation back to Britain if it needed it. So it wasn't a cheap trip. It isn't an easy life to sort of pack everything into your van and go traveling around the world, and that's why I'm not doing it. I would love to be able to do it. YouTube is not a means to fund your van life travels. So people that think I'll start a YouTube channel and travel around the world doing YouTube videos, it doesn't really work like that. It's not that simple. It's a very, very small amount and doesn't even allow me to live each month, each week. So I don't really want to burst your bubble thinking that's what you want to do. If that's what you want to try and do, then by all means go and do it. And I'd say another thing about van life, if you're thinking about it, give it a go. I'm not trying to put people off by telling them some of the crappy situations that you get in van life. I don't want to sort of say don't do it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying go give it a go. it's the only way you're going to know whether it's the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do for you. It's not for everyone, I can say. That's for sure. I mean, I've spoken to people that have said they've had their van 6, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years, whatever, and they wish they hadn't have done it. They just want to go back into an house. And that's the thing. At any point you can sell your van. You still have, even if the van is broken down or whatever, you still have some money there available to you to get you some sort of deposit for a rent or something. Hopefully you'll have family or friends to fall back on. If you haven't, then you're pretty much in the same boat as me. But it's like everything in life. Until you give it a go, you're just not going to know. You'll always have it in the back of your mind, should you have tried that. So yeah, I mean, I've made some really crappy decisions in my life. I've met some really crappy people. I've lost 2 houses in my lifetime through ex-partners. So yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? It's mistakes you make growing up. So, and I've made quite a few of those. If you agree, disagree, whatever, if you're one of those van lifers that does manage to go off to Spain every winter, please tell me how you do it, because I would love to be one of those YouTubers that takes my subscribers to weird and wonderful places. I can't afford to spend 2 grand on a couple of weeks trip. That's 2 grand is my expenses for quite a lot of months actually. So yeah, that's why I'm not traveling around Europe at the moment. So a reality check on van life, that's what this video will be, I guess. Thanks for watching again. Join me on my next video somewhere down the road, I hope. Not in this same space, and hopefully with a bit of sun.